Okay, so here I am. Yes, Saturday. And so this morning, I understand nobody's in here just yet. But since it'll be, well, it should be, it may not be. It may not be. I mean, it may not be up for anybody to see. I spent a little over an hour putting the video together this morning. And of course, YouTube blocked it for copyright. It was within the law of fair use. It sure was. It was within the copyright laws. But you know how YouTube is, you know how Google is. They're criminals and they can violate any law because they're above all the laws. So they can violate the copyright laws because they're above the laws, which, like I said before, we're in a lawless land. We can all do anything we want now. You have no laws, you're not accountable to anything. Okay, there is no such thing as a law that you have to uphold. Because as long as these people are above the law, then there is no law. You understand that? That's how that really works. It's not that they're above the law and you have to abide by the law. No, no, no. That is not the way it works. If you're going to have a law that applies to everybody, regardless of position, status, money, or whatever, doesn't matter. It applies to all. But since the copyright laws clearly doesn't apply to Google, then there is no such thing as a law because there is nobody above the law. If you want a law to be legit, then it has to apply to everybody, including the people who made it. And as long as it's not applying to everybody, including the people who made it, then there is no laws. Do whatever you want. Okay? Do whatever you want. And if anybody thinks they're going to uphold you to send some thugs with badges to your house because they're telling you you're breaking the law, you have a right to defend yourself, even at force and violence and death. And I don't like promoting death. But the facts are the facts. Prosecutors' jobs in this country are to recognize people that are violating laws and to determine if they have broken a law. But prosecutors don't do their job. They neglect to do their job. Thugs wearing badges don't do their jobs neither because they're order followers. They actually violate your rights. Okay, so here we are again. But anyhow, so I wasted probably an hour and a half worth of this morning making a video that you can't see because it was blocked. Okay, that's right. YouTube didn't want you seeing it. The real truth is that YouTube didn't want you seeing it because they want to keep their lives going, their propaganda going. That's right. So I'll do a live stream and I'll talk about what I made and why I made what I made. And you can come up on YouTube and you can do your own research to find the evidence that's all over the place. And you shouldn't even have to find it even when it's in your face because it is in your face. But just the same, so my live stream this morning, see, I kept getting this video thrown in my face by Google. That's right, by Google from 60 Minutes Australia. And the name would be Inside the Abusive Mind of a Wife Basher. And after about the fifth time this was thrown in my face, I said, okay, that's it. That's it. The abusive mind of a wife basher, huh? Let's look at the reality now. I can go back at least 30 years of male bashing, male bashing, male bashing, from commercials to sitcoms to movies. We have a network, a channel that is devoted to male bashing called Lifetime, where we do nothing but in every single movie we post, we find a way of shaming men and putting men down. So, in reply to 60 Minutes Australia, okay, if in the mind of a wife basher, how about the wives who hit and beat on their husband? Oh, that's right. You disregard that, don't you? You turn your head and look the other way and condone it, don't you? That's right. You condone it. You condone ill behavior, right? As long as it's not the other way around, right? Yep, exactly. So, can you tell me how many sitcoms and movies and commercials we have dedicated to female bashing? Would you please tell me how many sitcoms and movies and a network, a channel that we have that's dedicated to female bashing, female shaming? What do you mean there ain't one? What do you mean that'd be wrong? I don't see how it could be wrong. I can think of 30 years worth of male bashing. I can give you over Winfrey even. She has her own network, her own channel. She's a lot like Lifetime. She's dedicated to male shaming, male bashing, male shaming, male bashing. That's right. Oh, that's right. Domestic abuse. Yep. Only a man can be a perpetrator. A man can never be a victim. That's right. Doesn't matter if she hits you in the head with a hammer. If she hits you in the collarbone with a hammer. It doesn't matter. If she breaks bones in your body, you had it coming. That's what they'll tell you. That's what your society says. You must have abused her. You must have done something to earn it. It's funny. It's hilarious. Just like when we got up on national TV and we laughed about a guy's penis being cut off. Okay, so what I done was I took a video and I took a series of clips of videos showing what they don't want to show you. The other half of the news. The other half of the story. Okay, the cases of men being abused by women. And some very severe cases where men are really, really, totally almost at death, sometimes are dead at the hands of a woman. But we never talk about that, right? Isn't that like how we never talk about when women do crimes? But occasionally, I mean, we don't talk about the root cause of things. That's right. We don't want to talk about what's causing it. So, and then the other day, of course, I did a video. I was really ranting. I did a live stream and I was pissed. And when I'm mad, I say some things I probably shouldn't say. My anger stands out a little bit, right? But I have a justified reason for being angry. And I talked about our MR rights, our men's right activist leader, Karen Stroud. Girls' rights what? And I talked about her statement. Now, I understand she said she knows it's wrong. There's a problem. There's a problem here and it's wrong. But she also said, though, however, that's just the way it is. Okay. Okay, so basically what she done was, though, however, that's just the way it is. So, we have the 80-20 rule in the dating scene, right? Anymore, I like to call it the 90-10 rule because it's gotten worse than what it ever was. But Karen Stroud openly told you that at one time in society, 90% of the men could always find a woman. This came out of Karen's mouth. 90% of the men could always find a woman. But in today's society, this is all out of Karen Stroud's mouth, your men's right movement's leader, okay? But in today's society, we have a percentage of men, and she didn't want to give you the numbers. Okay, she didn't want to tell you the numbers. We all know what the numbers are. And we've even had another woman come up online and broke it down and told you the numbers. And that's been several years back. By now, I say it's probably 90-10, not 80-20. But even if we go back to the 80-20, let's just go back to the 80-20. So 80% of the men will never be able to get a woman in their life. But out of Karen Stroud's own mouth, at one time in our society, 90% of the men, 90% would be able to have a woman in their life. Now we're in 2019, and for the last 10 years, well, the last, probably since the early 90s, the numbers have been skewed. But now we probably have 90% of the men won't never have a woman in their life. The exact opposite. And even if we go to 80-20, we're going to say 80% of 90% of the men that were able to have somebody, now 80% can't have nobody. But as Karen told you, it's right, it's a problem. But she definitely identifies it's a problem. But that's just the way it is. Now, she is the leader of the men's rights movement. And your leader just told you that's just the way it is. So let's think about that a moment. Why wouldn't your leader address this and say, this is definitely a problem? We need to figure out what we can do to correct this. Why wouldn't your leader say that to you? I mean, after all, she is the head of the men's rights movement, right? She's supposed to be fighting for men's rights, right? Right? So if she's supposed to be fighting for men's rights, supposed to be, right? Right? Why would she tell you that, oh, that's just the way it is? Live with it. Then we got the other argument that I'm going to throw in your face, okay? And this is this. I hear this said to me quite often from people, When it came to Karen Stroud, girls' rights, what? Well, you got Warren and other people, that'll tell you, well, she did say that this is a problem, okay? Well, that's correct, she did. But she also didn't say we, as being the leader of the men's rights movement, that we need to address this problem and see what we can do to correct it. No, she didn't say that. It's the way it is. Okay? There's nothing wrong with it. We've got a percentage of men that's never going to ever have nobody in their life. And they will even be stereotyped out, isolated by other men. Now let's think about Steve Hoka's statement. Steve Hoka's statement was, yep, women love women, men love women. Women hate men, men hate men. Matches up, doesn't it? Sure does. Okay, now I'm going to get a little bit off topic, but not off topic. I'm going to bring something up that I don't care what you say. I don't care what you say. Because you're going to condone and say, well, it's 80% of the men that are going to be alone and there's nothing we can do about it. It's just the way it is. And we're going to go with what Karen said. It's just the way it is. You have to accept that because there's nothing you can do about it. Okay? Because it's just the way it is, man. It's human nature, right? No, it isn't human nature. And no, it isn't just the way it is. Let's just ask yourself a couple questions, okay? First off, as human beings on this planet, and no, that's not only women. I want to clarify this right now. Women are not the only human beings on the planet Earth. I know you might think that women are the only human beings on the planet Earth, but I got a news flash for you. They're not. Men are not second or third class to a woman. No. And then some of you idiots will say, well, yeah, they are because she gives birth to the child. Well, then we have no problem with neutering every single boy that's born from here on out, right? At birth, they will be fixed so they can never get nobody pregnant. Every single boy worldwide that is born from here on out, forever, will be fixed so they can never get nobody pregnant. Why would I say something like that? Well, because the woman's above the man. After all, she is the one that gives birth. I wonder what's going to happen when every boy's fixed at birth for the next forever. What do you mean mankind died off? Well, I thought the woman was the one that gave birth. Mankind should still be here. How did mankind die off? The woman don't need a man to give birth. She's a goddess. Do you see how insane you people really are? And when I say you people, I'm talking about all the people that condone the behavior. I'm not talking about people who don't condone it. And when you say that's just the way it is, what you're doing is you're complicit. You're complicit with wrongdoings on others. Because let's think about this for a moment. Okay, you got categories, labeling. We give everybody labels. We put them in a label. We put them in a group, okay? And we've decided that it's okay that we went from Karen Stroud's own words. At one time, 90% of the men could always find somebody. But now it's not that way no more, and you just need to accept it. Now it's 80 to 90% of the men will never get no woman. But there's nothing wrong with that behavior, right? That's acceptable. Okay. And you say, well, it can't be changed. It's just the way it is. The last time I looked, we as human beings are the ones that made it this way. That's right. Us human beings on this planet are the ones that made it this way. That came with you worshiping a gender and throwing your own self under the train, under the bus. And that gender watching you commit suicide and kill yourself for her. That gender watching you fall to your knees and worship her because of her gender. Causing the virus that attacked the human brain to happen. Massive swelling. Narcissism, psychopathic behavior. Total corruption. Because we've accepted lies in our media. That's right. We allow them to lie to us in our school systems. We allow them to lie to us in our newspapers, our magazines, our books, our comics, our everything. In your media on a regular basis. We don't question anything. We don't care if they do lie to us. We just accept it. Okay, we accepted male bashing for 30 years straight now. And little girls grew up watching a television set that was shaming men. Male bashing and shaming men. Everything's a man's fault. Male bashing and shaming a man. And everything is the man's fault. It can't be the woman's fault. So today's society, what we have is a hidden epidemic. That's what it would be. The hidden epidemic. Hidden right in your face. The hatred of men. The blatant hatred of men. Men are vile. Men are predators. Men are monsters. Men are villains. Men have done no good for this world whatsoever. Yep, that's what we have. Don't worry, we disregard anything a man's ever done because by default, you owed it to her. See how insane you are? And I'm not trying to be ridiculing people, But I'm telling you right now, when your mentality is, there's nothing we can do about it, it's just the way it is. Other people say wrong is okay to do. It's okay to do wrong on others. I wonder what Mark Passio and natural law would say about it's okay to do wrong unto others. You're going to tell me, well, no, this is different, right? You're going to say we're not doing wrong unto others. Simply because we've allowed these women who are the gatekeepers of sex, we've allowed our goddesses, the gatekeepers of sex, your guys' words, not mine. Okay? You've allowed this, not me. Okay? But you're going to say, well, that's not the same thing. We're not doing harm on anybody. You're not. Let's examine what true forced loneliness really is. Because it is truly forced, isn't it? Karen proved that the other day. There's going to be a percentage of men that us women are going to say, ew, and never give the time of day. We're not going to touch you. You will die alone. And that's acceptable, remember? She condones that behavior. It's perfectly normal and acceptable. Well, that percentage of men absolutely had no chance then. You took that chance away from them. And who decided what that percentage of men was? Right? And how come it was only men? How come grossly ugly, but ugly women still can have a man? How come grossly overweight, morbidly obese, like the Goodyear blimp women still have a choice? They still have a chance to have a life. How come Karen didn't talk about that? How come we're not addressing that? Come on. How come it's only men? Oh, that's right, because the war is against men, not to be 10 victim the woman. Not that the women ain't victims to this programming, because they are. But the war that's being carried out is against men, not women. But the women, catch this, they are the victims of the war against men. See, you're not even allowed to be a victim. This is how far we've gone. This is how completely out of your damn mind you are. As a man, you're not even allowed to be a victim when you are the victim. And you think it's funny. And I'll tell you something else. You know, as Karen said, it's a problem, right? But there's nothing we can do about it. And for all of you simps and white knights and normies who want to come up here and try to slam me for saying what I'm saying, I want to ask you guys a question. This is to you simps and normies, okay? You know, you manginas, you simps, you. I wish I was a man, okay? And this is for all of you chads as well, okay? This question goes out to you people, the chads, the simps, the pussy whipped vaginas, okay? It's a simple question because I know that you all say that if these females say that this percentage of men is not allowed to ever be touched, so we can't give them attention because they will take it the wrong way. So we have to be rude, crude, demeaning, and disgust them to them and treat them like dirt so they know that they don't stand a chance, right? Karen condoned it. She's the guy fighting for men's rights who condoned that behavior onto a man. Okay? So, if that's the case, then my question to you normies is this. You chads, you normies, you vaginas. There's nothing wrong with it. Remember, you tell those guys this all the time. You tell men this all the time, that there's nothing wrong with your behavior. That it's perfectly normal. It's okay. Don't worry. Someday, perhaps you'll meet somebody. There's nothing wrong with being alone. I don't know why you'd be so upset being alone all the time and rejected all the time. That comes out of your mouth. Oh, my question is, then how come you're isolating the man and not being his friend because you're afraid what you're doing to me or to somebody else might rub off on you? Ah, wouldn't that be double speak coming out both ends of your mouth now? Yeah. Wouldn't you be lying your ass off? Yeah. Because you already know you don't want to be in that place. That's right. But as long as we continue to worship the woman, right? While we destroy our society, right? While we make the numbers of men get higher and higher to pretty soon, even you chads won't be able to get a woman. Matter of fact, we're going to be so divided that pretty soon, give it some time, and women won't want to date men, period. They will wholeheartedly hate men so bad they will become asexual. NWO in your face. The exact want of the globalist. They've done a really good job. And you know what? I got a friend who lives over across the water there who will tell you he's met a whole lot of women that are wig toe. Yeah, they're women going their own way. Matter of fact, he's met more women who are wig toe where he's at than there are men who are MGTOW. toe. You know what? It makes sense. It really does. It goes together hand in hand. Of course it makes sense. After all, we got 30, 40 years of male bashing worldwide. Not just in America. These people out to lunch. This is NWO. It's all over the world. What do you think? It's an accident that you got men that are calling themselves men going their own way all over the world? You think it's an accident that you got TFLers all over the world? Yeah, no, it's no accident. It's what I've been telling you all along. Yeah. What did you expect? You sat back and allowed the lies to be fed to you. You believed in the programming of the gene pool, the natural selection, thy biology. You fell right on down the rabbit hole and believed it hook, line, and sinker. You let the fashion and industry and the modeling industry and the pornography and Hollywood dictate what was attractive to you. That's right. And you progressively got worse and worse and worse. You put your little girls in front of all this male shaming, the feminist movement. We need men. We need men like a fish needs a bicycle. You got the little baby that they wrote every vile, disgusting thing they could think of on this little baby boy's body. Women did that. That's right. If a man speaks against a woman, he's a misogynist, he's a woman hater. But when a woman speaks up against a man, go, girl, go! What did you think this was going to lead to? Honestly, okay? Let's see what else do we got. We got all these simp guys that are either agents or just completely fucking stupid. Excuse my language. But that's what they are. You're either an agent or you're just completely fucking stupid. To go around telling you that men and women cannot be friends. Yep. The promotion of the destruction of the genders. You got women friend zoning men. Yeah. You got women that says, let's just be friends that don't have no intentions of ever being your friend. That's their rejection line. And then you got guys thinking, I gotta hurry before she friend zones me. And you got all these things promoting this is how you better speak if you're in a room full of women and you're a man. You are being told what you're allowed to say, what you're not allowed to say, and how you must behave. Behave as a man around another human being, a woman. That is social engineering and division at its finest. And you've all bought it. Hook, line, and sinker. You're flopping on the end of a hook, a fish out of the water. This is men in today's world. That's a hook out of water, and that's you. Now, I know you may not like it that I'm doing that, but I told you I'm brutally honest. I'm not telling you no lies, no deception. You just don't like the truth. I understand you, Dave. I really do. But I don't know what you people thought was going to be the outcome. I don't understand how you could think the outcome would be any different. I just don't get it. Obviously, you don't have any kind of thinking skills. Obviously, you've disconnected half of your brain and you aren't able to use it. I can't figure out any other thing to tell you other than you have disconnected and shut off half of your brain. I have screamed the truth at you for years. I've told you what's coming. I've warned you about it. I showed you yesterday in a video the links from the incel community to killers in society. And, they left George Sedini out of the picture. And I forgot to mention this person yesterday, but they also left him out. Anthony Powell. Anthony. Tony Powell, who killed Asia McGowan. So you've left George Sedini and Anthony Powell out of the equation. Well, that's because them are real events. They really took place. So you don't understand that they've actually passed a law that allows them to do fake events and report it as real, which is the same as propaganda. And then use that fake event that they reported as real to make links to create laws to take rights away from you. I've said this and told people and told people and told people, and it just flies right over the head. Brain dead. Brain dead. Brain dead. Brain dead. Yeah. So as it gets a little worse, the complaints get more. We'll have to talk about your mental issues, okay? Yep, let's talk about your mental issues. Don't worry, that's all we're going to talk about is your mental issues that we'll use to create a law against you to take something from you, a right, to shut you up, to lock you down, to take a right away. Okay? But we're not going to talk about where that mental issue came from. No, that would be a root cause. That's what we've spent years running from, was the root cause, right, guys? Right? Isn't this what you spent years running from? The actual cause? So when you people get mad at me for calling out Karen Stroud, girls' rights, what? The leader of the men's movement, and saying what I said, well, Bill, I don't think that she meant it that way, okay? Because she was just telling you the problem. There's nothing she can do about it, you know? It's just the way it is, you know? I got a news flash for you. No, it's not just the way it is, you know? No, it's not. See, we, the humans of this planet, made this problem because you've lost your ability to care. I know this, Dave. I know this. But I'm using their own bullshit against them, Dave. Because understand this, Dave. Does she not portray herself as the leader of a men's right group, or the men's rights movement that Paul Elam claimed to be the leader of? Did he not turn it over to her? Is she not going along with, I am the leader of the men's rights movement and I am an activist for men's rights? Is this not what she's telling everybody? Yes, you're damn right. That's what she's telling everybody. Who has accomplished nothing in the 8, 9 years she's been the leader. But she did accomplish telling you that at one time in society, 90% of the men used to always be able to get somebody in their life. But now, us women, we agree that there is a percentage of men, and she wouldn't tell you the percentage. No, she didn't want you to know that it was 80, 90% of the men upside down on his head, they can't get a woman. And she not only didn't tell you that, she didn't even though she sees the problem, and she's the leader, your leader. And she didn't even offer to say, we need to get together and figure out a way we can combat this, to fight this. This is just right out wrong. Look what's happening to men. No, she didn't do that. She condoned it. She simply said there's nothing we can do about it. She threw in the towel. This is the reason I'm doing what I'm doing right now. I don't care how mad MRA gets at me. MRA spent years running from me. I asked them hundreds of times to address the root problem, the root cause. They ignored me, ran with the tail between their legs, ignored me, ran with the tail between their legs, and some of them even attacked me. Yes, no lie, fact. So when you take all of that into consideration, then you have to realize the truth. They were never there to help you. Problem, reaction, solution. They created the problem, got your reaction, and gave you a phony solution. A fake solution, like all of our fakes we have in society. Karen don't care, because see, as long as she's collecting the tool, that's all that matters to her. You notice Karen didn't even care about her own son. Her oldest child's obviously an adult now. And when he didn't get laid, she basically blamed it on him. Great mother, Karen. I applaud you for being just like the rest of the women. So I would venture to tell you, as much as you men may not like to hear this, the day's coming where we will have an asexual society where you will none of you men that are worried about getting laid will ever have to worry about that again. Because all the women hate men. And I mean it. They hate you. They were socially engineered to hate you. Oh, but by the way, you're not allowed to hate them. That's misogynist, that's woman hating. And you will be dangerous to society if you hate them. But on the other hand, they can hate you. Yeah, they can hate you. Because, see, they're allowed to hate you. Because there's a double standard. Yeah. Yeah. And mental health laws will be against you, the men. That's right. You, the perpetrators, the villains. You, the vile predator, the man. And why will that say that? You're one that allowed it to happen. See, it ain't that it can't be changed. It's that you've lost your ability to care for other people. You've lost your ability to recognize right from wrong. And you become cowards. You become afraid of not fitting in. That's right. And you went along with corruption. You hit yourself in the head with a hammer over and over until you were dead. Because you was that stupid. See, we're all human beings. And this could have been changed. But you didn't want to change it. You wanted to worship her vagina. You wanted to show her how weak you really are. You gave her the weapon to use against you. You turned her into a narcissist psychopath. That's right, you normies. You people, well, you can't do that or say that because you got to say just this stuff. If you're in a room full of women, you have to watch your behavior. And you have to give them women respect. And you have to talk appropriately what we tell you you're allowed to say. Because when you're in a room full of gods, oh, I'm sorry. Did I say gods? Yes, I did. Because all of you simps and vaginas and watched I was a man have sat there for years worshiping her. Worshiping her. You're responsible. You're just as guilty. You're just as responsible for this ill behavior. See, I don't care when you tell me, well, but Karen, blah, 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 and Karen was blah, blah, blah. I don't care what you tell me. I don't care because, see, the problem is simple. If you had care like I possess that you don't, about other people you don't even know, like I possess that you don't, if you wasn't so scared shitless with your yellow streak down your back, the crack of you know what, shaking in your shoes of what somebody else would think about you, which I'm not, then you would understand that we as the human being race have allowed this. And what Karen, as a leader of a men's rights group activist, has condoned is not condonable. It's even against what Mark Passio speech on natural law. You can't tell me you're not hurting other human beings. Because, see, being pushed out of society, in a society that is promoting sexualism, okay? That you go everywhere in your life as a man, as a young man, you go to a mall. There's a guy with his hand in hand with a woman, okay? You go to a movie theater. There's couples sitting together. You go to a park. There's women, men, and children together with families. You turn on your TV. In every movie, there's a couple, a woman and a man. In the sitcoms, there's a girl and a boy. Everywhere you turn, this is what you see. Then you have a human, as a human being, you have that natural desire to want that yourself as a young man growing up. Your hormones are kicked in, you want that yourself. But the other evil human beings that went along with programming decided you're undesirable, you're not touchable. And the other guys was afraid that the girl would say that about them if they hung with you, so they pushed you out too. And you said, well, but we didn't do anything wrong to them. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. You abused them. You destroyed them from the inside out. Depression, confusion. What am I doing wrong? How come I can't get a woman in my life? I run out and spent a whole bunch of money on problem, reaction, solution, PUA, pickup artist industry. And I gave them a whole lot of money. A whole lot of money. Yep. And it didn't work. And it didn't work. She still rejected me. She still rejected me over and over. I spent years. Every week I went out, every week, and tried to meet somebody, and they pushed me off the ladder. Everybody told me to get back up again. So the next week I went out and I got shoved off the ladder. They told me to get back up again, so I got back up again. And then they shoved me off the ladder again. And they shoved me off the ladder again. And they shoved me off the ladder again. Now I got depression. Now I got anger. Because, see, I'm angry. Because I'm doing everything everybody's telling me. And I still can't get some in my life. And nobody will tell me why. They keep telling me it's my fault. Okay? But you didn't hurt them, right? Okay? And this just keep doing this over and over. And we know it's your fault. You're damn right it's your fault. If you just have confidence. That's right. If you just get out there and talk to people. See, we know it's your fault, right? Of course it's your fault. Then we'll talk about the cause of this behavior. No, we won't. Run! He wants to talk about truth. Get out of here. There you go. So, it's the reality is this. What did you expect? And if I went back to Mark Passio's natural law, this violates it. This is not natural law. This is how you destroy a person and you say, well, we're not doing anything wrong. We're not hurting anybody. But then if I ask you, so you don't mind if we put you in a group and a label? And you can go and do everything you can and you can be denied? And we can shove you off the ladder over and over. And we can blame you. Yeah. You don't mind that being done to you, right? Right? You don't actually mind that being done to you, right? And if I say that to you, then you get madder now. And you look at me like a deer in headlights. Because you already know. No, you can't do that to me. No. Okay, there you are. That's because you know. See, so you condone. You condone this behavior. You went along with it so that you could have your friends. And so that the girls might give you the time of day to abuse you. Because in today's society, that's what women do. They abuse you. Why would women do that in today's society? Oh, I think it has something to do with 30 or 40 years of male shaming, male bashing, feminist, media, commercials, movies, Lifetime Network, blah, blah, blah. Everything I already told you. Yes, the women hate you. And yes, my friend over across the water, like he told me, he says, he's young. He's only 21 years old. And he's out there, and every girl he meets is wig toe. He meets more wig toe than he does men that are mig toe. Women who want nothing to do with a man. Oh, but don't worry, that's coming to America. Yeah, I think it's actually already started here in America. Yeah, you just haven't noticed it yet. But you know what? It's like anything else. By the time you notice it, it'll be an epidemic. You know why? Because you're not looking. You're not paying attention. You think everything's humpty-dory, that everything's normal, when it's not. See, you need to get this, you need to understand this. So yeah, today I did a video breaking down what was put in my face, and YouTube blocked it. So I wasted an hour and a half putting this video together just for YouTube to block it, screaming copyright, when there was no copyright violation. It was within the laws of copyright, but you got to remember, Google, YouTube is above the law. They make their law up as they go. No, that's correct, So what you're looking at, women got vibrators, that's correct. See, your new sex is going to be asexual. Women hate your guts. When Steve Hulka said that women love women, men love women, women hate men, and men hate men, he was 100. He didn't know, he was 1,000% correct. I'm going to even go high as that. That's how correct he was. And not only was he that correct, but it is in your face. Now, if you understand why I got mad at Karen, I know she's an agent. I've known this for years. I know she's a shill or she's a plant. But the point is she's put herself in public as, I'm your leader. And she's done all these seminars for the tool as, I'm an activist for men. That's right. And she has her posse of other little feminist women with her. We're activists for men's rights. And then she condones. Then she condones this and says, it's just the way it is, rather than saying this is outright wrong. What can we do to maybe make a change to correct this for men? I do think that's what a men's rights activist, a leader of a men's rights activist would do. Nope, not Karen. Nope, not Karen. She's not worried as long as she's getting this. Hell, she wasn't even worried about her own child. Well, I told my oldest son, and it's not my fault if he can't get laid. I told him. She's not even there for her own child. What the hell makes you think she's there for you? She's there for herself. And then you have that little simpy guy over there working with her in the chips. Okay, whatever you want to call them. I like to call them chimpanzees, Okay, and they're badgers. That's what they're calling themselves. And You want to go along with this, right? You want to be part of the male shaming badgers. I don't know what else to tell you guys. She basically described TFL to you in a nutshell. She condoned it and told you there was nothing she can do about it. Okay? We're all human beings. It's this way because we don't want to change it. Isn't that right? Because you've lost your ability to care. That's right. That would be the real reason. You don't have no care. You're unlike myself. You've lost your ability to care. You don't recognize right from wrong. You can't recognize that this is hurting other human beings, literally destroying their lives, hurting them, and that you don't have a right to do that to other human beings. And then you think there's nothing wrong with it. But yet, the proof is in the pudding. None of you want it to happen to you. Every one of you people condoning this already know you don't want it to happen to you. Well, if you wasn't hurting anybody, then why would you not want it to happen to you? Come on, give me your legit answer, dummies. Nope, this is when I hear crickets. This is when I hear Johnny Cricket. That's right. Where's all the people gone? Oh, they all ran because they know they were busted. They knew they were wrong all along, but they didn't care. See? Didn't I just prove you lost your care? Yep, they knew they were wrong all along, but they didn't care. I know you think, oh, look at him. He's getting mad at us. What did you think was going to happen? Huh? It's this I said, and I'll say it over and over to you. You have victimized hundreds of millions of men across this world, and then you want to keep playing, nope, the woman's the victim. Yes, she's the secondary victim, and she's the sole perpetrator of creating and causing TFL. She sure is. Why do you think they won't touch the topic? You can't get any of them to acknowledge TFL. I had one troll come up on my channel and tried to say it's like the Bilderberg group, that I am the leader of TFL or whatever, and said that I'm an agent, but this is a big psyop. So TFL is a big psyop, huh? Of course, you know what I done with them, right? Yep, you know they're not on my channel no more, right? And you know if they come back, they'll be booted just as fast as they get there, right? No, they're a parasite. That's what I call a true parasite. A piece of scum. See, they hate me because I spill truth. But the reality is they don't see what's coming. See, when I talked about asexualism, I'm not joking you. When I talked about my 21-year-old friend overseas that says he knows more wigto than MGTOW, yeah, women who are walking away from men, you're damn right that's where we're going. And it's only going to get worse, that's right. And more, and I challenge you right now. When you say that, let's talk about what is the real hidden epidemic right now that's actually hidden from your eyes. And that is the fact that women hate your guts. And more women are going to be going their own way, wigto. And the phony MGTOWs, the fraudulent MGTOWs, are going to get a real eye-opener when the real wig toes actually really walk away. Women. Because they hate your guts. You're a man. Then, what are you going to do, huh? Because that's where you're headed. That's exactly where you're headed. And I don't care if you don't like me for telling you it or not. And if you call them out on it, you know what? You will be deemed a terrorist. Because they have a right to not want to be with somebody. Just like you do. Just too bad you wasn't interested in root causes, huh? Because if you was interested in real causes of problems, you would figure out it's the last 30, 40 years of male shaming. And it's your society that's made them hate you. And for all of you guys that want to think you're siding with the women and hating men, the last time I looked, you still have a penis between your legs. Guess what? You're going to be on that same list. They're not going to want you neither. Then you're going to see TFL skyrocket. That's what you're going to see. We won't have to worry about the guys being dicks because they're going to be affected by this too. They don't got no way of not being affected by this because this is social engineering at its finest. So, I don't know what to tell you other than watch and see. More and more women are going to hate men and walk away from men. And they're really going to do it. So they won't be fraudulent like the majority of MIG tollers. They'll actually be real, not fake. They'll mean it. And they won't give you the time of day. And this is going to affect all of you normies and even you Chads, you Stacys, Sure is. And you're going to find yourself the name you hate, TFL. And you're going to say, this is not right. This is not fair. Well, let's look at the reality again. You got a woman fighting for your rights. Not. You're not even willing to fight for your rights. What did you think was going to happen to you? You sat there and fell to your knees and prayed and worshipped the woman, didn't you? Yeah, you did, yeah. And now, let me turn on this AC. And now, you can't figure out why you're in the situation you're in, huh? I don't know what else to tell you, man, other than the facts of the fact. I don't like what I see. I despise what I see. I get angry at what I see. And that's because I actually care. I don't want it to happen. When you say, well, it's just the way it is, we can't change it. Weakling, coward. That's what comes to mind. Coward, weakling, old yeller. And I know you go, why am I saying that? Because we're all human beings. We can change it if we want it changed. This fucking mentality that it's just the way it is, can't change it. Well, cowards never changed anything. If I was with the mentality you have, TFL wouldn't be here. It would have died out years ago. See, I don't care what you think of me. And that's a problem for most of you, ain't it? Because you actually care what somebody thinks about you. Isn't that right? That's been just as damn brainwashed as everybody else. See, you couldn't do what I do because you don't got it in you. You have to have tough skin to do what I do. And if you got weak skin, you lost. You know, and I'm not trying to freaking rant here by telling you. It don't have to be this way. Karen knows full well what she's done. You see, Karen don't care because she's getting her tool, money. If she was really actively fighting for men's rights, her answer wouldn't have been, well, it's just the way it is. I know it's wrong, but there ain't nothing we can do about it. Coward! She's supposed to be the leader of activism for fighting for men's rights. I'm sorry, man. You know, at one time, 90% of you could have a woman in your life. Now 80% of you will die alone. Just the way it is, because I'm fighting for your rights. And all of you pussies that wish you were a man, yeah, you guys are done without. I'm not. Not understanding the agenda or who your real enemy is. Yeah, you will. As the women become more bitter and hateful of men, the more and more women walk away from men and go wigdo. The difference between wigdo and migdo, the majority of migdo are frauds, fakes. But the wigdo won't be. No, they'll actually be real. Not frauds, not fakes, but real. And for all of you normies, you got a surprise coming to you. For all of you chads, you got a surprise coming to you. Well, you think it's an accident that they're making sex dolls and sex bots that look like real humans? Do you think they're going to spend all the money and time it would have took to create that to not make a profit off of it? Don't you understand that was part of the plan? I don't know what to tell you, man, other than I put it in your face. Just remember this, okay? For all of you people who want to go along with this bullshit, men can't be victims. So what if 80% or 90% of men can't get a woman in their life? We're not going against natural law. We're not hurting them at all. Even though all of you people who say that would want to say, I don't want to be in that category. Well, if you're not hurting them at all, then you should have no problem with being in that category, shouldn't you? That's because you know you're hurting them. That's right. You know, and when it comes to people like Blue Skies Media, sure, he might be a TFLer. I venture to say he most likely is not, but I might be wrong, right? But you know what? I'm not going to feel bad the way around. I'll tell you why. Did you pay attention to the list of names that they've connected to Incel and said that all these names idolized Elliot Rogers, and all of these names have run out and killed somebody? And then the two real incidences where somebody actually died, George Sedini and Anthony Powell, their names ain't on that list. What's in common to what I told you? I've got a lot of homework done on the Parkland school shooting. Okay, a lot of homework's been done on that. And I know for fact that that was fraud. So what you've got is a list of names that's going to be used to pass a new mental health law. Why do you think I did that video yesterday for you? I wanted you to see it right out of the horse's mouth. And you notice he didn't talk about where the issue came from? He wouldn't talk about the fact that you grew up in a world that was over-sexualized. You're a normal human being like everybody else. When puberty kicked in, you had attractions like anybody else. Everywhere you went in society, whether it was the mall, whether it was a carnival, whether it was at a park, or whether it was just downtown, and every time you turned on your TV, that you got to see a couple together, a couple together, a couple together, a couple together, a couple together. And even if you went to a game in high school, you got to see couples together, couples together, couples together. Okay? But you were denied. But you were denied. You done everything everybody told you to. See, didn't I already go here with you? Yeah. Then you got the audacity to say you didn't hurt him, huh? Then you have the gonads to say you didn't hurt him. See, I still get very angry at it. But why do I get so damn angry? I think it has something to do with that I care. I hate corruption so bad. I hate watching people do wrong on other people so bad. I really do. There's no excuse for it. You don't have an excuse. Any excuse you give is bullshit. That's where I come from with it. You couldn't come up with a legit excuse if you tried. Because it's complete garbage. But anyhow, I wanted to get up here and I wanted to say what I had to say. And, because it needed to be said. Now, maybe some of you people may understand why I get a little bit angry. Why I rant the way I do. There we go. I see I had a troll here in the chat that's calling real truth fraud, fraudulent, fake. What did you expect? This is what dumb do. And they thought, well, let's have an interview. You can't debate somebody that's stupid. There ain't no fixing stupid. Tried to have a debate with me, Steve, or freaking Peter Nolan, you'd get your ass handed to you. And you already know you would. Because you can't win a debate with lies. See, they're right back. See that? Calling us a troll. There you go. I took him out again. That's the second time I've removed that person. In seconds. Unreal. If they come right back with that same name again, then I know it's YouTube. Then I know where they work. So you just go right ahead and come back with that same name again. That way everybody will know they got a YouTube employee in here. Because I literally took that person out. And there they were, right back the same name. Typing again after being removed. So now I've removed them twice. Pathetic. Anyhow, guys, I'm going to get out of here, so it won't do me any good to come back. And hey, Dave, if you're still out there, if you want to give me a ring, go ahead. I'm here. With that, I'm out of here.